are here on Shanda On Demand, and we're going to dive into this incredibly painful or passionate conversation about passion. And I brought up this topic today, and the reason why I wanted to dive deep into it is because it hits your urgency. How many guys know when you are passionate, you are fired up, you're either wasting your time connecting with people and diffusing your energy, or you're taking action like at a rapid pace because you're excited, right? So literally this morning, I was talking to somebody early this morning. A good friend of mine, her actually name is Suzanne Evans. Do you guys know Suzanne Evans? Suzanne Evans and I were chatting this morning, and we were talking about the difference. So obviously we both speak for a living, which I hated the idea of speaking for a living. I was not passionate about it whatsoever. So I just want to tell some of you guys are being told that a door is opening for you, but you are refusing to walk through it because you think life is about what motivates you or what doesn't motivate you. And I'm here to knock on your door and say, this is not about what motivates you. Right? Like that is all about you. And you know why I never want to be a motivational speaker? I never want to be a motivational speaker because guess what happened in my life when I had to motivate you? Seriously. Does anybody have somebody in your life you have to motivate? It is a full-time effing job. It's a full-time job. It's like you do all this work. Everybody's got this friend. Maybe you're this person to somebody else right now and you need a bit of a reality check. But everybody has this friend. Am I right or am I right? Who's your friend that you have to motivate, or family member, or child, or whatever that looks like? Who's, come on guys, who's the friend? They won't know you're talking about them. There's like a million Lisas, there's a million Tammys, there's a million Johns. Like, who's the person? My husband, my sister, my brother. I love how you guys have this 1 degree. It's like you're not saying their name. They're still like over there. You know what I mean? Like, so yes, almost everybody has this friend. And you pour into them, or you've had a friend like this or somebody in your life like this in the past, where you pour into them and it looks like things are going to change, but they don't. It doesn't really change. Do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't really change. And the reason why it doesn't change is because people somehow think that the world is here to make us passionate. My husband is not here to make me passionate. You are not here responsible to hold my responsibility of my own passion. My and your responsibility is, can you take, excuse me, Elizabeth. Hey, Kim, could you ask her to take whatever my new housekeeper, she's amazing, by the way, but she doesn't speak any English. I got to learn Spanish. Can you ask her to take off whatever's jingling? I keep thinking it's the dog running around. Okay, welcome to my home. This is how we do it here in Puerto Rico. We just keep it real. I'm going to take over Real Talk Kim's name and call Real Talk Shanda. Okay, so the misinformation or the misguidance is that somehow we feel like, you know, if I'm not passionate about my business or I'm not passionate about my marriage anymore, that it's time to quit. And honestly, I actually met, when I was dating, I actually met an incredible guy. And he basically told me the song, he told me the song and dance that when a woman and a man are not passionate about each other anymore, even if they're married, that you just move on. And that fundamentally completely goes against what I believe, because I am Christian. It's okay if you're not. You can be Catholic, Jewish, atheist, whatever. We can all still live in the same country. I don't know why people get so offended when everybody doesn't believe like you. It's wild to me. It's absolutely wild to me why we even are in these conversations, or even parents, stop parenting. Don't get me going on these rants, right? I talked about this yesterday. If you want some attention, go on a rant, because you know what? The minute you state an opinion is the minute people either turn towards you or turn against you, which is exactly what you want in your marketing. I've been telling you guys for months now, if your marketing's on point, then your sales rock. You get it? And so if you got a money problem, you don't really have a money problem, you have a marketing problem. If you got a marketing problem, you got an honesty problem. If you got a passion problem, you got a leadership problem, because biblically it says that we are responsible for stirring it up. If I could take you, actually I can. I'll just take you on my couch like this. And I remember at one point in my life, I said, if I have to teach another list building course, I'm going to die, because I didn't want to teach it anymore. I was so bored with it. How many of you guys have an email list of 20,000 or more? Put yes or no in the chat. 20,000 or more. How many guys have an email list of 20,000 or more? Okay, so I'm just going to ask you, is that on your to-do list right now? Because either you don't want to take advice and you're still going to tune into Shadow on Demand, or you absolutely have no need for more money in your life. Like no need. And I'm going to go even deeper. Apparently you really don't care that much. Ouch, being a little tough this morning. Apparently you don't care that much about changing the world. And so because if you did, you would be obsessed out of your mind to build more people to help. And it should be not only on your to-do list, it should be on the first quarter of next year, the second quarter of next year, the third quarter of next year, the fourth quarter of next year. It should be there. You know what people say to me, Shanda, is there an easier way? Are you effing kidding me? Get out of my way. And please don't influence my child or give any of your downline, meaning that your children, your nephews, your nieces, or anybody who hangs out with you, please do not put them in the same friend group as my child. Because the truth is, it just takes one mic drop where people stop trying, stop putting in the effort, feel like being bold is wrong, and then they end up broke. You guys hear what I'm saying? Yes? Okay, so I'm here to rock your world a little bit on this because I want you to take some responsibility. I'm going to run you through a little exercise. Do you guys like these exercises? I feel like it helps you think, right? It helps you kind of work through it. So number one, I want you to ask yourself, where have you lost your passion? Like, let's put this through the test, right? Let's not just sit here and be like, oh, I'm good. No, you've lost your passion somewhere that actually means something to you, right? Where have you lost your passion? At one point, I lost my passion around working out. Esteban, who's going to be at Zone Event, he is an incredible fitness trainer and just leadership human being to get people to take action. You want great buns, you want great abs, and no, you don't have to be 20. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, my friend Kim just walked up the stairs and, oh no, she didn't. She's over there. And Kim, like, you've got great abs, you still wear a bikini, you're 50 years old. Sorry for giving it up. There's another woman that I know that is 60 or 61 and has better abs than me. Well, what'd she do? She made it a priority. She got passionate about the temple that she walks around in. And so I can just tell you that there's an area you've lost your passion in. And when I lost my passion in my fitness, I have all my reasons, but my reasons are just my reasons. And say, you can listen to my reasons. The doctors told me I wasn't allowed to do triathlons anymore, that if I stopped working out like that I would be able to have another child, that my body fat is too low. And so I really need to watch what I'm doing. And you go a couple years, which some of you guys are there right now. Some of you guys are even way past that level of not being responsible with yourself. And I'm just keeping it real, okay? So you go a couple years of not taking care of your fitness, and it's hard again, right? It's hard again. And so, no matter who you are, I don't care if you're David Goggins, Jesse Itzler, Sarah Blakely, myself, you, everybody walking through hard, you can tell the level of your leadership based on your ability to walk through hard, right? Like all of you guys are facing a decision moment today, and you face a decision moment every moment of your life, every hour of your life, and you make a decision on, are you going to make this day matter? Is this day going to produce a legacy for you, or is this day just going to leave, go by? You won't remember what you did last week on this day, right? And when I talk to myself like this, and I do often, I'm so crazy that if I didn't actually feel like I might die if I put this sign up on the wall, I wanted to write a big sign above in front of our bed that said that you are going to die. So what are you doing with this moment? And the only reason why I did it is I thought subliminally, because the way I became a millionaire is I wrote $100,000 a month on the wall. I looked at it every day. I was like, and I created it without really realizing that I created it. I was 3 months in before I realized, holy cow, I'm on the track for $1 million because I'm doing $100,000 a month. I was like, oh, I don't want to be on the track for death, even though I know I am. I want to put my head in the ground and I want to forget that that day's coming. And so I encourage you today, because the one thing I would say, there's two things that I regret in my life. One is not hiring a relationship coach earlier to find my husband, because I would have had 5 or 6 children. Okay, I never felt a maternal instinct to have children. I still don't feel a maternal instinct to have more children. I've never felt that. And I know my husband would tell you that I'm a great mom. I love being a mom. I love it so much. But I would have had 5 children because I had a vision. And the vision was, I love Christmas. I love Christmas. And I love Christmas because even though my parents were separated, both my parents made Christmas the most amazing day of the year. Like, it was just thoughtful and friendly, and skiing in the morning with my uncles and my aunts and my cousins, and just everything good about life. You know what I mean? And then the matriarch died, my grandma, and on my mom's side, and my grandma on my dad's side. And guess what stopped with them? The legacy of Christmas. And how many of you guys have a story like that? You have a grandparent, you have somebody that really went out of their way and probably was completely unappreciated, but they made a holiday great, right? For Ash's family, it's Thanksgiving. They love Thanksgiving. And it's a big thing. That's why at Thanksgiving, I can't cook to save my life. Many of you guys already know that. And I should take cooking lessons. That's what I'll do when I make it someday. See, that's the problem. Someday never comes. You guys coming to Zone Event, I'm telling you, I'm going to get you so good at making decisions in your life, because we're going to make them all at the event. And you're going to spend a year of your life, if not 2, but definitely a year of your life. And I'm going to be encouraging you to just stick to this 5-prong plan. It's a 5-prong plan. And you're going to follow it, you're going to stick to it, you're going to simplify things, and you'll feel it when you start to take on too much, and you'll realize that wasn't on the 5-prong plan. And if you do the 5-prong plan, you'll actually see exactly, we're going to do this at Zone Event, you're going to see exactly what needs to happen, and either you'll do it or somebody else will do it. But you'll stop consulting with your money, your time, your community, the people you do life with, your atmosphere. You'll stop consulting that to make a decision. Okay, so here's where we go. Where have you lost your passion? Now, I know you have a reason for that. Okay, so go ahead and just make yourself right now and write what the reason is. So I lost my passion for fitness because I was trying to get pregnant and all the doctors told me I can't do it. And so after a while, I just stopped having, I didn't have the lack of urge to be in shape. Not even just that, I started looking at my body and I was like, I'm skinny fat. And sometimes I was chunky and chubby. Sometimes I was skinny fat, but I definitely wasn't feeling great. I wasn't feeling like I wanted to put on a bathing suit. And I was not going to take any of your guys' advice to me that I should just love my body. That's BS. That's BS. If you don't take care of your body, you don't love your body. If you don't take care of your spouse, you don't love your spouse. You just don't. You're not conscious of it. Because the things you love, you really cherish, right? Some of you guys love your Netflix. Some of you guys love your cigarettes. Some of you guys love your wine, and you make time for it. You prioritize it. So what I'm trying to do is jolt you a little bit. I know I'm rubbing you, right? I'm in there, but at what standard are you going to live the end of this year and next year at? Because I'm sure some of you guys have started to think about 2024. Yes or no? Has anybody started to plan 2024? Put the word plan in the chat, just so that I can go back and look and I know the reference point. Put the word plan in the chat if you start to plan next year. Well, have you asked yourself what standard you need to play at? Because if your goals are up here, but you're still going to make decisions from this standard, you're still going to have relationships at this standard. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything, right? It might look more like I might look stronger at business than I do at maybe parenting, but you'll see the same characteristic all the way through. Do you know what I mean? Like you'll see, like I chunk my time with my son. It's just, I can always get better. I read parenting books, gospel parenting books, get coaches. You know, I do that. We have a Spanish teacher that is teaching him, who's bilingual, and he's learning Spanish while he's learning math and all the things that he's learning. And so it's like, I chunk, and every time I get a vision, I try and get better. Right? Do you guys see what I'm saying? Like that, I have a growth mindset. Who has a growth mindset? Put growth in the chat. Put growth in the chat. If you really think you have a growth mindset, like here's how you know you have a growth mindset. You've just never stopped growing. Right? Like you're pretty obsessed with it. It's a common denominator. Most of you guys probably have it, because I don't think that you would like to listen to me, because I challenge you. Right? So now I want you to take that thing that you lost your passion for, and I want you to write down the word cost. And this, if we were in a room right now, I would get really intense with you, because I'm going to see how I can do this. I see if I can do this through virtual. It's not as powerful as it is in a room, but like, so if I look at, I listened to my doctors for 5 years around fitness. And the only time I ever got pregnant was the times that I started running again. And I know why now, because my blood kept thickening. And when your blood thickens, it's not really great for pregnancy. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Yes. And so every time I would start to work out, I'd get pregnant, and then I'd miscarry. And so the cost I paid for not getting obsessive about why does this keep happening is that I don't have another child. The cost that I've paid for it is, I can't tell you how many vacations I didn't go on overseas because I was committed to being pregnant. And then the one trip that I booked with my friend Steve Weatherford and his wife and Deidre and her husband and my husband and me, I was like, I booked the Maldives. One weekend in Palm Springs at my parents' place, we all booked the Maldives, and I'm pregnant. And exactly what I said I didn't want. I didn't want to book these flights ever. So I was letting years go by without doing these overseas trips, because I was like, I'm going to be pregnant, so I don't want to plan a year out because I'm going to be pregnant. And so I loved my intention on that. The problem is the cost of letting my body go is massive. Now, I'm having a hard time going there with you right now. I'm laboring a little bit, and which means that I'm withholding some honesty, right? There's a part of me that doesn't feel safe to go there, or isn't willing to go there, or just doesn't feel like going there. But unless I get down to the cost at a really big level, my fitness will be labored to really kick in. So I'm happy to say I do have an insane trainer. She is off the charts, and I ran through some average trainers, even an average trainer here in Puerto Rico that Kim and I went to, sweet girl, but completely average in her leadership. And now I have an insane trainer, but I'm only working out with this trainer 2 to 3 times a week, right? What would it look like if I was really going all in? I don't know. I should ask her tonight at 5 o'clock. And so you have my word that I'm going to take myself to the next level. And I'm going to go talk to her about that tonight, when I want to cancel my workout tonight because I have a bladder infection. And I have a bladder infection most likely because I just did 2 rounds of IVF, got a root canal taken out. They gave me antibiotics, and my body, I don't do any of that, right? But I didn't want to come to Puerto Rico and be in a situation where I could have some challenges. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? So fear has actually created some of my decisions versus faith. And there's been some faith that's had me stick to the protocols of the doctors and all of those things. And I think I've had some amazing doctors, right? And so I share this with you because I want to be so transparent that I'm not sure that really settling on being right, it just doesn't matter. What matters is, where have we lost our passion now that we want it back? And as long as you blame a doctor, a spouse, a career, a boss, as long as you do that, you are sadly missing your life, because nobody makes your choices for you but you. Nobody does. You make a choice to stay in an abusive relationship. You make a choice to be broke. You make a choice to live with, eating seed oil, or you get what I'm saying? Like, you make a choice, and most of our choices are connected to comfort. I'm going to end on this. It's really important for you to write down the word passion, and where did you lose it? Where did you lose your passion? And where would you like to see it come back? And then ask yourself, what would it actually look like? So what it would look like for me is I'm back to running 4, 5, 6 mile runs, at least once a week, where I'm doing a good size run like that I'm back in a community of people who are running because I love the lifestyle, that I'm playing pickleball a couple times a week or beach tennis. And my lifestyle is more about a lifestyle of fitness now, not a destination, which, for gosh sakes, I wish that wisdom would have been in me years ago, because I didn't find lifestyles until I started doing triathlons. And when I started doing triathlons, I realized, my gosh, there's 80-year-olds, 85-year-olds, 90-year-olds, 60-year-olds, 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, and everybody's doing the same bike rides, and everybody's doing the same runs, and everybody is in a community that just makes you feel good to be a part of something other than your goals. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Community is what brings us happiness. I'm going to go through this at Zone Event, and I don't want to go through it now, but have you ever seen an unhappy person who is living their dream? You know who's unhappy? The people who are not living their dream. I'm going to repeat that. The people that are watching me right now, that you are feeling depressed, unhappy, massive loss of passion, the truth is that you're not living your dream. Because unhappy people don't feel passionate because they're giving something up, maybe for somebody, for something, because they're afraid to step up. I don't know what the reason is, but here's what I know. It's hard to get it back, but it's worth it. And almost always you don't do it alone. You need to hire that fitness trainer. You need to hire that relationship person. You need to invest in marriage counseling. You need to invest in business coaching. Stop trying to get all this stuff by watching videos randomly online. Make a commitment, because what you pay for, you pay attention to. And if you're paying for something that you're not paying attention to, the thing that you need to work out is you need to sit down and write out, what am I paying for lack of action? What am I paying for not having my passion? What is the cost that I am paying for not living my dream? And let me say something that is really big. There is someone in your life paying the ultimate cost because you have not stepped up to the ultimate dream. The ultimate dream is not just money, but it's a part of it. Right? Like the ultimate dream, there's somebody in my life that literally is leaving her husband for 3 months to go take care of somebody in her family. And I'm like, there are people who can't go to the freaking corner store without their spouse, right? They can't show up to work without their spouse. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Like, you have to realize that it is important for you to go all in. Because the cost of you not going all in is a bunch of people in your ecosystem who like attracts like that does not go all in. I'm not talking about people who are hard workers. We all are. I don't think there's anybody on this live right now that's not a hard worker. Am I correct? Who's a worker? Put the word work. Like, let's just see, go in the chat. Who's a worker? Put the word work. You know what drives me nuts is all the people who think that's enough. That is not enough. Enough is what do you need to pay to get there, and what is it costing you to not have it? You should be in tears. I was bawling this morning. And you guys are coming to the Zone Event. I'm going to let you see what that looks like. This isn't a ploy to come to the Zone Event. If you're not coming to the Zone Event, trust yourself. If it's not your time, you know what? I'm not going to make it your time. But if it's your time and you're coming to the Zone Event, or you're going to be there, or you're going to get your ticket today, thezoneevent.com, whatever that looks like. I'm telling you, I'm going to show you how to go so deep that nobody can stop you. Nobody, not somebody's opinion of you, not a family member that doesn't support you, not fear of money, not lack of money, not lack of support, not I'm afraid to speak that message out there, none of that. Because let's be honest, this world in some aspects is rising up to be extraordinary because leaders are being refined because they're getting sick and tired of things. And then you have another group that is being suppressed, and they're somehow letting their 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds, and 16-year-olds make decisions that you know darn well as a parent are not healthy for them. But yet we're just sweeping it under the table for the sake of being liked, fit in, and being a part of a community. When did you get so desperate that you went and tried to join the community that you actually don't agree with, and now you've watered down your belief system? My friends, I'm telling you, this world needs you to stand up. Your people need you to stand up. You need to be the leader that you are, whether you believe in shots or no shots, or whether you believe in like living in Puerto Rico or living in California, whether you believe in marriage or you don't. Like, you need to stand up, because here's what I'm clear about. I'm now a Christian. I used to be New Age. I'm really clear New Age is not the game for survival. However, if it wasn't for New Age, I never would have found my way to God and his word. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? I'm not afraid to say that. Because why do you care if I read this Christmas book or I read the Bible? Like, you have to start, we need to get critical thinking back inside of our mind. Like, do you care if I use an iPhone or an Android? Right? Like, it's wild to me how everybody thinks that we should just melt into this one pot. You know what that is? That's called broke as shit. And if you go here in your mind, you will go there in your bank account. And if you go there in your bank account, if you don't have money, you don't have choices. So you are darn well right that I'm going to stand up. And even if you have a different belief system than I am going to support you to stand up on the top of the mountaintops and scream it and not be afraid of what anybody thinks. And I will be in your corner, even if I don't agree with you, and say, you know what, at least you have the courage to stand up. And the fact that you have the courage to stand up, I know that you will make a difference for someone. And then I'm probably going to try and enroll you to read the scriptures, which I hope you try and enroll me to do something that you think is really good for you. So I'm going to end on that live, y'all. And I'm going to say, hopefully I didn't offend you enough to back down off what you want. But hopefully I can inspire you, not motivate you, but inspire you to be independent in your thinking and to be able to stand up today. Yesterday, I asked you guys to do rants. I think it was yesterday or the day before I asked you to do rants. Today, I'm asking you to go deep. And you guys are coming to the Zone event. I'm going to take you so deep that hopefully you cry the ugly cry and don't care that you've got snot coming out of your nose, because you just stop caring anymore about what anybody thinks. That's when you're free. That's when millions start coming in. They start coming in monthly, yearly, weekly, daily. That's when that comes. It's not from you working harder. You've all tried that. And you can work 10, 12, 14-hour days, and it doesn't mean you're going to succeed, right? That's not a badge for success. It is not even a clue for success. Yes, hustle's important, but heart is what makes you unstoppable. And I'm not saying just you want to make a difference in the world. I'm saying you don't have that much time left. And that's a blessing to have that in you, to feel that, because if you would have felt that at 16, I could only imagine what you would have created in your legacy, in your lifetime, which is going to end, right? And so if I can stimulate that by making you unstoppable, if I motivate you, you're going to need me again. I don't want you to need me. I want you to get so strong that I need you. Do you get what I'm saying? That I could call you. And I'm going to tell you, in 2024, everybody should make it a standard that you at least have an email list of 20,000 people. You should make it a standard. For God's sake, so many of you guys, I've taught how to do this, and it's unbelievable how freaking lazy you've been at making it a priority. And yet you're still complaining about what somebody else is doing. You're only complaining because you're off purpose. People who are on purpose don't complain. They just run their race. So that's all I got for you today. Dig into your cost. See how deep you can go. It should move you emotionally to tears. But whoever doesn't get moved emotionally to tears, I'm telling you, I have a process at Zone Event connected to your 5-prong approach to next year that is going to make you so unstoppable that even a mistake is not going to make you timid. Even a mistake, a bad decision, it's not going to make you timid. You're going to crush it. All right, you guys, I'm sending you so much love. I will see you tomorrow on Shanda On Demand, and you guys on the On Demand Mastermind, stay tuned on Zoom. I will ship back over to you guys in just a second.